Alrighty, everybody. We are at the Luxor, and I'm heading in from the public parking, and we're going to go see the Titanic exhibit today. Lily's been wanting to go for like forever, so the day is finally here. I love going down the stairs just so I can get up an escalator. It's very themed.
Whoa!
We are in a pyramid. Oh, I forgot there's a food court here. Well, let's see what they have at the food court. So we've got original chicken tender, Nathan's famous hot dogs and cheesesteaks, Johnny Rockets, Bonanno's New York Pizzeria. Ooh, the World Cup is on. And then lastly, we have LA Subs and Salads. I've never heard of this place. I wonder if they're good. Yeah, so pretty cool food court. Looks like a lot of different kinds of options, so that's nice. I think I definitely want to come back for the King Tut's exhibition as well. These scarab beetles, Emily was reminded of the mummy.
Blue gold. This will fetch a very fine price. One more.
I'd say that. Do you think we could actually walk up those steps?
So the only thing about this exhibit is that they don't allow any videography at all. So from this point forward, it'll all be photographs. So the exhibit starts off with a bunch of stuff saved from the wreckage of things that were from the outside of the ship, things like pulleys, porthole covers, as well as big rivets and bolts, as well as material from the furnace. The next part, though, is where it gets really interesting. It's where they recreate the hallways, and this part is steerage class or third class. You see one of the typical bunks for the steerage class, and it has the recreation of the White Star Line blankets, as well as like light bulbs that were recovered from the wreck. Another cool thing is we were all each assigned these boarding passes for different passengers that were actually on the Titanic, and then you kind of find out at the end if they survived or not. You can tell as you go up the different classes how more expensive the materials they're using are. So this is like second class, which has some china. When you get to first class, you get the really fancy beds and the gold inlays and things like that. So it was crazy to see really the class distinctions. Again, these were all things that were recovered from the wreckage, so you can see how really good quality materials can last a long, long time, even under that kind of pressure. After this, you're taken to a promenade deck where you see the stars out, and it starts to get colder here. And then there's a recreation of the grand staircase, which is amazing. It looks straight out of the movie, but of course, it's a recreation of the real staircase. In this next section, you'll see that the lighting changes, and it starts getting even colder, and you find out why is because they have a room that's set up with a fake iceberg so that you can touch and feel exactly how cold it was. And you can tell by the lighting that this is getting darker, literally and figuratively. This is where it really takes a turn, and the gravity of what's happened starts to hit you. I didn't take any pictures of this, but there are quotes all over the wall of the survivors talking about the crash into the iceberg and, the time that follows right afterwards. It really is amazing what they recovered from the wreckage. I mean, there's also pots, pans, and silverware, and it's crazy. But probably the biggest piece of resistance, or the biggest piece de resistance, is what they call the big piece. It's a part of the hull, the actual hull of the Titanic. And this small hull is massive. It is crazy how big it is. At the end is a great big list of all the passengers of Titanic divided by class, but also whether or not they survived or were victims. And then at the very end, like I said, we scanned our boarding passes and we found out whether we were survivors or victims. My person was Francis Davis Millett, who unfortunately died, which happened to a lot of men because they were trying to save the women and children first. Pro tip. If you're going to go see the Titanic exhibit, you might as well just pay the $15 more to see Bodies the Exhibition. Now, we've already seen Bodies the Exhibition, my wife and I, so we were not going to see it again this time around, but it's a pretty good deal to see two pretty awesome exhibitions. Alrighty, so we just finished at the Titanic exhibit. It was awesome. It was also very sobering. You realize kind of the gravity of what happened and the disaster that it was. I've watched the movie a million times and it was nothing like the movie. It was very, very sad. And they really did a good job kind of like building up to it. And they had a part where they showed like you could touch what the ice would have been like on the iceberg and things like that. And man, it was a moving experience. But it was crazy how many things were able to be recovered. So that was kind of cool. But overall, yeah, I highly recommend the Titanic exhibit over at the Luxor here in Las Vegas. And that wraps up this video. If you like this video, please hit that like button, hit subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified of new videos on our channel. And as always, no matter where you find yourself on this journey, please take a moment, however brief, to take a closer look at life. Bye for now.